So you join me in a 2025 facelifted Polo GTI for an in-depth review. Now I'm on the final of 4 days which I've had this car, and yeah, we're going to go for sort of basically like, yeah, tuck into the details of it, share my experience of it over the 4 days, the miles, the MPG, how I found it. Got a little bit of a part 2 as well from my previous video about comparing a Polo to GTI to a Golf GTI. I'm so excited to kind of share this with you, and we've got some great roads to kind of go off just to kind of go through this. Once we go through the roads, I'll talk through everything about this car, and then we'll park up as I hand it back to Volkswagen, yeah, which is later today, which I'm really just sad about actually, to say goodbye to it. But yes, as you can see, the facelifted Polo GTI. So just a little bit of the overview of this car. So this is 207 PS because it's the facelift this car. This car has quite a few options as well, which is nice with the black styling pack. I love it in the 19-inch wheels too. And this car comes really well equipped to standard, and actually the costs of each option are actually a lot less than say like an equivalent Golf, which I think is cool. As you can see here, I've got the performance monitor up, it's got the digital display, it's got a Mark 8.5 Golf steering wheel, which is great. It's a 7-speed DSG gearbox. I've got it in individual setting at the moment, which as you can see from here, I have set up so the suspension, which is adaptable with the DCC, is set to normal. It can be set to sport. Everything else is in sport. You have sport mode, you have normal mode, and you have eco mode as well. Eco mode basically makes the gearbox more sort of like it'll churn up more easier and things. But shall we get on the move, because there is something really great about this car. And I know might sound a bit boring, but it's the turning circle. This car can basically like turn on itself. I think it's amazing. It's such a cool little city car. And yeah, let's get straight into this. Now, buttons are really good as well, really easy to press. But what I'll do is once I've done this sort of point of view drive, I'll park up and I'll really chat with you to say anything that I haven't said on this drive basically. So let's start her up. It's a 2-litre petrol engine. It's so cool. So foot on the brake and then you whack it into drive. And we will head on our way. Hopefully all is okay for you on the point of view. It's a nice sunny day. We've got it in my individual setting, which is basically, well, let me see first of all if I can actually do this turn the road, because I said to you it was quite impressive. How impressive is it? It's still pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't get down. This car has got the reversing camera too, as you can see. Slightly older generation system on this Polo compared to say like the Golf, but nonetheless it does it well. And actually I've done this turn on sort of like many Golfs before and it kind of does the same, but this car just, yeah, it's a great little city car. I've got the performance mode kind of shown as I thank the Mercedes for letting me through, which is great. You can have like the oil temperature, the kilowatts, which is the power, the engine temperature. Yeah, it just makes things a little bit more sportier really, and good thing to sort of tell on the bumps too. So this is in its most comfortable suspension setting. It feels good, but going on to my little comparison between the Polo and the Golf, I'd say the DCC system on the Golf is more sophisticated than this of the Polo. It almost feels like this DCC, the dynamic chassis control, which comes as standard with the Polo GTI, it's almost like it only does it on one axle. That's kind of the best way to describe it. Whereas the Golf, it feels, well, it's a whole lot more customizable. There's a lot more settings you can choose between. And it just feels, there's a lot more configurability in it, which is great. But the Polo, yeah, I won't say my conclusion yet. You got to stay to the end for that. And yeah. Driving position, as you can see, we're just in sort of like it's sort of chilled out mode. In fact, I can even just pop it into normal for you guys too. It's in drive. You can actually, the automatic gear stick is really cool to use because you can knock it into manual mode on the stick. You can also knock it into sport. It's just really easy. You've got paddles as well, which are exactly the same as the Golf, which are nice. It's a pleasant place to be. And you can actually have this particular car has the red dash, but you can have it with grey if you wanted it to. It's got nice physical buttons to use. The quality inside I found really nice, and really robust sort of buttons to use, as I've been sort of playing around with it for the last 109 miles and 4 days. Sound system's been good, navigation's felt good as well, and I mean, I've got to say, I feel this is a really, really brilliant car, and to be able to get this in 2025 is great. They start the GTIs at just over £30,000. Even with this car, with the optional 19-inch wheels, which I would 100% recommend, and the black styling pack, yeah, it's, you know, it's about 31,000. It's not like a huge amount to sort of option these kind of little options on it. Dimensions are really, really good. It's a nice small city car, but I have driven this car on the motorway as well, and it's felt good on the motorway, you know. It's, I mean, there's tiny little differences where you sort of notice perhaps it's not quite the same as a Golf in terms of that refinement, but what I would say is this is slightly better than a Golf is on the city driving. It's just that bit smaller, that little bit lighter, just over 1,300 kilos. Economy wise, now this car is very new, basically. It's a 2025 car, and when I picked it up, it had about 700 miles, 600 miles. So economy wise, I mean, currently just cruising around, I'm at 35 mpg. But it hasn't been like massively different to my Mark 7 Golf R, which has a similar 2-litre E888 engine, just with 100 more horsepower and a bigger turbo. And yeah, I was also kind of thinking about the manual gearbox, whether or not you need it in these Polos. I mean, I think it's good. I really do think it's good. It's so easy to cruise around with. It just feels effortless. It really is. I've really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. I was wondering where he was going there, that guy. He's obviously got a little secret place there. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it, as you can probably tell, and I'm looking forward to, well, when I sit down with you guys and I'll go through it and park up and we'll run through it. My previous video, you'll see this car in sort of like its perfect immaculate condition, with the comparison with the Golf, which I do recommend you guys checking out. In sport mode, it does change the car to be firmer, but you know what, it's a strange thing. I actually kind of prefer it like that. I'm a more of a sporty driver, and it just means there's less roll, and you do notice the difference when you're sort of on some twisty roads of how the sport suspension is better. But I've got it in individual, which is everything sport except, well, basically except the suspension. Well, actually we're in normal at the moment. Eco's quite interesting, because what it will do with the gearbox, when you're sort of cruising down, it will sort of almost coast in like neutral basically, or no revs. Obviously gives you better economy on that sort of side of things. This car's got lane assists, it's got the speed limit warning, which is normal for a lot of modern day cars now. The lane assist I found has been really, really good. The cruise control was really good. To turn it off, you can just turn it off. The traction control is quite fun to play around with, because you can have sport or ESC off, and that does make a difference. I've liked using the paddles as well. I found them really, really responsive. It makes it, certainly on downshifts. On upshifts, sometimes I've pressed it and it sort of had a bit of a delay. So you're kind of a little bit out of the, yeah, I like my control, and yeah, that kind of misses out on that. You can change the views on the dash, which I won't do while I'm on the move, but I'll share it with you when I park up after the point of view segment, and really give you a feel of it. And the seats are really, really comfortable. This one's in sort of like the tartan. It's got a manual handbrake, so no electronic handbrake or auto hold on the brake pedal like you would get in a Golf. But one thing that I think is great for a car of this segment, certainly sort of like one of those more entry-level hatches, this is one of the best performance brakes I've had on any of them, like the Fiesta STs, all of them, you know, even the i20N and stuff. This is really, really good. And in the straight line, I've never driven anything quicker, which is of this size of sort of hot hatch. It's so quick in a straight line. I wouldn't want to be up against this in a Golf GTI or, you know, one of its bigger brothers, basically, because it's quick. It really does pack a punch, and it really does pull with that 2-litre petrol engine. It's a strong, strong motor. And once you get those wheels lined up and straight dead ahead, being a front-wheel drive car, it flies. Really, really, no question about the power, put it that way. And I feel the extra bits in the facelift helps with that. And I would certainly recommend the facelift over the pre-facelift. I also prefer the looks of the facelift, but looks are kind of subjective, and we'll have a little walk around of it too. We got some proper twisty roads coming up, and we'll do a little bit of back and forth on that, because this is a hot hatch after all. The quality inside is really, really good. Like even inside like the glove box, which I'll show you, well not the glove box, the center armrest, you've got some like padding. So it means like your keys, when they sort of shake around, they don't make any sort of like that plasticky tinny sound. Sadly, that's not around the whole of the cabin, so it's not in the door cards of the pockets, as that guy's in the middle of the road. But, you know, I'll take what I can get. It's like they're a little bit there. The whole like switch control and the gears have felt really good, really, really high. It feels like a Golf in that respects. And, well, yeah, it is. And I took this to my friend. I've known him for about 20 years, and he said to me, he tried to guess the price. He said, I'm going to try and guess the price, and he said, I reckon it's over 40 grand. I was like, no, it's only just over 30. And he has a family, you know, he has a young child, and he was like, oh, I'd consider this, it feels big enough as well, checking it out. That said, my mum, who's slightly older, in her 70s, lives on her own, and she actually felt this car was a little bit too claustrophobic when she sat in it, just sort of checking it out. So I guess, and I never really thought about that before, but we got natural speed limit sign. We've got it into sport mode, and we're gonna have some fun because it's a hot hatch. At the moment, we've got all the aids on, but what I'll do is I'll switch them off and stick it like into manual mode on the way back on one of the trips. I mean, it's so effortlessly quick. You get a little bit more wind noise at a higher speed than a Golf, and a few little bit more rattly sort of bits than a Golf, but still really, really highly refined. I was following an i20, not an i20N, a Hyundai i20, and there was bits hanging off the back of it, and it was a 24 plate car. I just think the build quality of these are pretty good. They're sort of tried and tested cars, the Polo. And it's a good car. You get a good sense of the front ends, although I feel like I get more control when I put it into sport mode, which I probably will do actually. In fact, I will do it now on the move, because it's quite easy with the button. You just press that and press sport, and away you go. And it's in sport on the gearbox as well, so not in drive. And I'm having a lovely time on some amazing roads, 60 mile an hour, no problem. And actually this car is proper lively. I mean, I've had some moments where it's felt like, geez, you're on your toes. You're having to really grip the wheel to make sure you're all stable, because that's just that little bit more lighter. The thinner section tyres, it makes things different. Now, I've also got the lane keeping assists on, but as you can see, it's not really detracting from the fun, which is good. Really, really good. And you know, the best thing is we get to do this road once, well, we'll do it once or twice more, I think, as we lower it down. So let's say you want to have a bit more fun. You can knock the assist systems, which we can scroll through here. From the assist systems, you can chain off the lane assist and the speed warning. You can then go into the settings and put it to sport mode on the ESC. So it just makes it a little bit different. But so we're in the firmest suspension. We've got ESC in sport, and we're ready to go. We've got the lane keeping assists off, touchscreen. Although I've really enjoyed it, you know, I have really enjoyed it, and it's glossy and it's quite responsive. Can sometimes take a bit of time to boot up when you first start up, which kind of frustrates me sometimes, but it gets there. It does pick up fingerprints. That's just the sad thing. But that's part of modern day cars. We'll stick it into manual mode as well, which, you know, knock it into second. Natural speed limit road. Let's go. ESC in sport. You can switch it off, although it still kind of retains a bit of the whole traction stability. It's just more off than sport. It will disable like your front assists and things like that, because obviously this can like stop on itself. Oh, it makes a good noise. I think it makes a good noise. Real exhaust pipes, real tailpipes, making some real little burbles. And it proper moves around with the crests. And in its firmest suspension, I find it more capable. I find it more confidence inspiring going round here. In its softest suspension setting, I just feel it rolls a little bit too much. Great on like the motorway when you're just cruising, but not so much when you want to take this car for a fun drive. Oh man, what a fun little car this is. And that extra lack of weight kind of makes up for the little bit of a less power, say, over a Golf. Oh, it's so much fun. And it's still practical as well. You know, I took this car shopping and the boot doesn't feel even that much different to a Golf. Obviously a little bit smaller, but not anything like massive. And in the cabin, it's slightly less as well, just smaller adults in the back basically, or children. But very, very stable. You know, if you absolutely mash your foot down to the floor, you then have to kind of take care a little bit. That's just one of those things. And what we'll do is we'll spin it round, and just for the sake of it, we'll turn ESC off. So that's everything off, and you have to confirm that on the steering wheel. To deactivate that, you have to press OK. But with that all off, and with a bit of a clear track, we'll make a move. It'll also sometimes go back into automatic when you're in manual mode, so we have to knock the paddle again and have some fun. Oh, it's so much fun. Is it as fun as like a Fiesta ST? A Fiesta ST which you don't even make anymore? Probably not, but they don't make that car. They still make this Golf. And it's plenty fun enough, and far more refined day to day than any of those, you know, I don't know what even class of car this can compare with, because who makes a fully combustion engined little hot hatch? It's amazing. Some of the wind noise, it's definitely more noticeable than the Golf, but it's still, for an entry-level car, I think it's brilliant. And it really does pull in the straights, and it doesn't ever feel like lacking on the motorway. The auto gearbox is quite good too, but I like it in manual, as you can see. Oh, around these sort of crests. And then on the brakes, it gives you a lot of confidence, a whole heap of confidence, which again is just amazing. And you can see like the kilowatts on the left which go up. You can have a G meter selected there as well. You've got the engine temperature and the oil temperature. I like how it has, you know, it's got the digital dash, but you've got it fixed with the fuel gauge and fixed with the temperature on the left. So that, I think, is very good. You can see how it's a bit more firmer, a bit more bouncier. And then you've got the customizability in the individual settings to set it exactly as you want or as you wish. It's amazing. It proper revs out. It likes you to rev. Yet it also works low down. Throttle response is great too. Visibility is great. Just a brilliant car. Oh man. But I've still got probably about another 50 or so miles to do in this car to take it back to Volkswagen and to do a little bit more. Let's end the point of view, and you'll get me as I'm literally at the last innings of this car to summarize sort of like the in-depth review of this 2025 facelifted Polo GTI. So join me then in a second. Let's go. So my time with the Polo GTI has come to an end, and now I've sort of had time to kind of collect my thoughts since you last saw me on the point of view about an hour or two ago now. I am on 148.5 miles, so a good, give or take, 150 miles in this car. The car's done 748 miles in total. There's a lot more actually I can say about it. Summary. I feel genuinely it's 65% a Golf. And the thing is, for that 30 to 35% less of a Golf, you save 35%. This car retails around 30 grand for a Polo GTI. Golf GTI is around 40 grand. So they're really nip and tuck. I really noticed coming up on the motorway in the dual carriageway at 70, you get more sort of like wind noise rustle from the top there, and just up there too. I don't experience that. I have a Mark 7 Golf R, and I've had that for 8 years, and I've done 60,000 miles. So I know the Golf quite well. I've driven the Mark 8.5 so much as well. So they are, you know, better cars, but they also cost more. So taking that into account, this Polo's brilliant. brilliant. I've been using sort of like the normal nav because I know how good Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is, and actually it's not too bad at all. And you can see how it's kind of got its gesture controls and bits which kind of work. I've really enjoyed the wheel, as you've kind of seen with the touch buttons. This gear stick, I would say, is much better than the Golf. It's so sort of like notchy, and you've got sort of like proper, like a real feel to it. You can knock it into like manual mode as well. The buttons are just big and easy to press. I don't know how that comes across, but even on there, and I like that. It's just good quality all round. And I kind of mentioned the sound deadening, as you can see in here. Can you just see it's a little bit velvety, so that doesn't rattle. But the problem with that is you then haven't got it into like the door cards in certain other areas. Yeah, you can see the space kind of back there. I sat in the back actually. I'm about 5'11", quite long legs. This is my driving seat, and I sat behind myself. Yeah, all a-okay. And it took me a while to get my driving position exactly right. My legs are quite long and my arm, you know, torso is quite short. I like the wheel to be nice and close to me. The reach and rake is really good, so I obviously pulled the wheel a lot closer to me. But then to get my legs quite comfortable, you just have to get the seat. But actually it's really nicely adjustable just on the turn, and I managed to get it really, really nice. The thing that really makes me like a Volkswagen, I'm trying to get the name right, since I met up with a German subscriber who shared his Mark 8.5 Golf Faro Black edition with me. Yeah, video up there for that. It's Volkswagen. They're trying to get you really into like the Golf name and then the Polo name. And what was really, really cool, and I don't know if this comes with all the Polos, but it's on this one and it says 50 years of Polo. And it's a gorgeous, like, just booklet, loads and loads of pages just on the Polo and the history of the Polo. Such an iconic car, as I kind of try to share all the pages. Oh, it's just absolutely brilliant. Really, really good, and a really, really nice touch that they've kind of got this in here. Like I said, this is a press car, so I don't know if this comes with all models, but look at that. How nice is that? 50 years of Polo, to have that with the car. You got the glove box again. What I said is it's not it's plasticky inside. Now my Mark 7 Golf R is velvet inline. Yeah, this isn't, but I believe actually the current Mark 8.5 Golf Rs actually are kind of similar to that as well. What a car! What a good car! I'm really sad to give it back because it's such a little chirpy car. It nips around. Please let me know any questions you have in the comments. Genuinely, write a really long comment, write a short comment, whatever you feel best, and I will get back to you because I have more processing time in my head to kind of get through this car, and I can really help you out with the questions you have because I've spent a lot of time with this car now. I've really lived with it, and I've really, really enjoyed it. It's easy to park, it's easy to turn, it's easy to maneuver, it's easy to reverse. It's got small, shallow doors. Its refinement is really, really good, if not obviously quite as good as, say, like a class above, a Golf. Power is really, really strong, not lacking any power. I can't think of really any negatives. In 2025, there's no real competition for this, in my opinion. It's in a class of one, and it's fantastic. It just really, really is. Really, really adjustable, but it sort of holds back a little bit on that full, super, super duper fun hatch to be as refined as it possibly can. Yeah, what a car. What a really, really good car. I'm just trying to think of anything else I could say. Oh yeah, long-term economy. So if we just start her up with the start-stop button, it might want the engine on actually to get everything, all the data up. I think I will turn the engine on. You can hear it into life. And I did say to you I'll share with you all the buttons as well. So I love how, first of all, you do get your fingerprints, but you go to like vehicle, you can select everything first of all on the dash, so you can move this around to how you want it. And as you see, I move it, it will move it on here. You see the left-hand side? It will just choose what you want, and the same with the right-hand side. However you want it displayed, driver assists, whether you want it driving time, whether you want it distance covered, you know, everything. It's got everything. You can kind of customize it before. Acceleration as well, which is quite cool. You've also got like different classic views, so you've obviously got your park and your accelerator, you've got like your navigation view, you've got your driving time view. Very, very cool. You've also got your sport mode, and you can customize between this as well, which is nice, with the kilowatts, the temperature, the G meter, turbo pressure bar. Really, really nice settings. You can also select setting, and change the traction control here to sport, to ESC off. Obviously just check everything. This is exact same as what it is on my Golf basically. The infotainment, it feels really good and really classy to use even for 2025. You've got real button knobs as well to kind of play around with too. You've got even more sort of shown inside a light car as well. So if we go press car, since start 37.1, but since I've owned the car, since I had the car for 4 days, since refueling, 34.1, 5 hours 40 minutes of driving, 160 miles left. So it's saying a range of about 310, which you might think is quite lacking, but it's only a 40 litre tank. My Golf R has a 55 litre tank, and I believe most Golfs are over 50 litre tanks, so you get more range because of that basically. I expected a little bit more economy out of this, I'll be honest with you, because I do drive quite slow. I drive an eco on the motorways and stuff, so I was quite surprised by that. But then you have a little bit more fun and you put your foot down a little bit more, so perhaps that's why it's a little bit less. Also, more miles in this car, a few more thousand miles in, probably 5,000 miles in, 10,000 miles in, the car will bed in and the engine will get better as a result. So that's kind of what I achieved. Yeah, vehicle status, it's a very happy, chirpy car. It's really, 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 really good. And then you've got like the buttons here to kind of play around with, the climate control. Yeah, dual zone as well, which is quite handy. Let's turn her off. Oh no, wait, I haven't shown you, there's always one more thing. I haven't shown you all the different views that you get in here. So you press the view button and you can go between them all. So you've got this view with the miles per hour in the bottom right. You can also customize it so that anything like in the middle can be changed, like the assist systems, navigation, audio, telephone, vehicle status, a lap timer, and the driving data there. The assist systems you can then choose between, as I mentioned before, lane assist, speed warning, that can be turned off, but you've got to turn that off and on every single time. Press the view again, you've got that bar. You can also have the navigation up on here as well. So if I push the nav and just change that to show mapping cluster, you've got the map shown there, and that can be interchanged as well through that. So you can integrate it with everything, and you can even have the full map. It does turn it off there, but then to turn it back on, you just press it and it kind of does it through that. Ah, what a cool car. And then yeah, if I turn off the nav, as you can see from that, move it back to car, play around with any more here, yeah, you can really customize it to suit you. And that's what the car is about. The touch quality of everything feels really, really good. Golf wheel, Golf that. That's an older Golf infotainment system. Really great on this. You can even sort of like change gear on here. You can stick it into sport mode, knock it into manual and sort of play around with it there, which is super exciting. Yeah, sound system's good. You can actually option this car quite highly. You can actually go for full leather. You'll lose, I believe, the Tartan effects, but you can actually get leather. That is an incredible option. You can get it on the Polo 25 years, which is a limited car. I've checked on how many cars left. There's only about 111 of those cars left. So they hold their value really, really well. They're about 20 to 25,000 pounds for one of those on like a 23 plate. And you can't get them anymore. But you can option this. You can option this with like pan roof and everything. I like the looks. It's a bit dirty and mucky, so I'll share with you my walk around that I had when I was comparing it a little bit to the GTI, the Golf GTI. Yeah, I think that's just about it. I hope I've crammed in as much as I can in the 4 days. I also had this car for about an hour or so. I drove it. You might have seen it on the channel before. I drove it around a little circuit in Millbrook. This exact car. I've loved it. It's felt refined. It hasn't made me tired. It's felt good. I'm trying to think. It doesn't really lack for grip too much. The traction control is quite full on. So if you put your foot down and when suddenly the wheels go straight, it kind of lurches itself a little bit. But if you had the traction control off, it would probably kind of scrabble its way around. And also just don't put your foot down as hard. As I mentioned, the brakes are really good. There's actually loads of space back here. Like I said, I've got quite long legs. It feels like I don't feel like too cramped in here or claustrophobic. It feels good for me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The lane assist is really, really good on the motorway too. I found that really, really helpful with the cruise control. You can pretty much just sit here and chill and enjoy what is an amazing car. And I'm happy Volkswagen have it as a press car here. And yeah, really, really, really good. And I think the cool thing is if you want to option your Polo up, it doesn't cost as much as, say, like optioning up a Golf. Like, even with this spec, it's only about £1,500 more, if less than that, than a car with, say, nothing on it. You know, you could go the full hog and go pan roof and leather and really, really sort of set it aside. The handbrake, there's a lot of cool like materials actually. As much as I said the quality isn't always as high, but that's like really high quality. Here the stitching feels really, really good, but then there's stuff like this which feels a bit cheap. I actually pulled this out earlier, which is a bit of a shame, but a lot of the other parts actually feel really good quality. And you've got your little GTI badge. And I mentioned this before in my review one. If I just turn off the engine, because I think I've shown enough of you here, it tells you like if you're all out. You can see the side sills, which are really high quality. And there's your car. That's my review of the Polo GTI, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And like I said, get involved in the comments. It's a community channel, and that's what it's here for, to help you guys out. And hopefully this video helps you out. And if you want to check out the other videos on my channel, subscribe and look back on previous ones, because I've done this comparison to sort of like a Golf and sort of driven it on its own. And who knows what's in store for the future. Yeah, I've got a few things coming actually. So yeah, exciting times of content to share.